Hey guys, what's up? What's up? What's up? Today is Sunday. Happy and blessed Sunday night. Y'all, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Sorry about last night. Sorry about earlier today. I've been really, really busy. So this is the first time I was able to come in here and do this live real quick, y'all. I don't know how many people are gonna come in here because it's kind of late on the East Coast, but it's not too late here on the West Coast. It's only 10:32. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this live regardless. And hopefully YouTube will get me out of the shadow ban thing and actually show the video. But you can't give up. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep on going regardless and stuff. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to all my new subbies. Thank you so much for joining Shay's family. And thank you to all the people who have been with me for the longest. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and do the Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, research, and etc. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area, will be in the comment area, and scrolling across the screen. All right, all right. And don't forget, guys, if you enjoy this content late tonight, don't forget to thumbs up this video. All right. And also hit the bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Also, check out my other videos, y'all. If you are into shopping, check out the latest Dollar Tree slash, I don't forget what stores I went to, Target and Walmart haul that I just put up. Also, check out the Honey House video we put up. And check out my other videos. And sure, y'all, show that support, all right? And thank you so much in advance, all right? Also, if you want to show support to this channel besides what I just said, you can also do a cash app to $Shades too. All donations are used to better this channel. All right? All right. So, guys, I decided to do not like a Halloween party or anything like that, but like maybe every day I'll do a different true tripped out or spooky story, okay? And I suppose I actually had started this yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to. So I'm going to actually kick it off tonight. And like I said, whoever don't get a chance to watch it, hopefully YouTube will put it in the algorithm and people will watch this, okay? Because this story tonight, y'all, is a true story, okay? And it's actually about Lake Lanier, okay? And if you guys ever been to Atlanta, you might have visited Lake Lanier. A lot of people do visit that lake. I think we went when I used to live there and everything, but I never seen anything happen. But I don't really swim anyway. But there have been over at least 600 unexplained deaths in Lake Lanier. Okay, so we're going to talk about Lake Lanier tonight, and it is known to be a haunted lake. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you a little brief history, and then I'm going to tell you about some things that they claim they have seen at the lake, and about a few people. Some people who have drowned, and with some people, I think one scuba diver, not skydiver, he explained something weird that he felt when he went into Lake Lanier, and some other people did too. So I'm going to tell you guys about that. We shouldn't be here no more than an hour because it's late. It's not too late here, but I still need to get off in time so I can grade my son's work and then do something else before I get ready to go to bed and stuff. Because I got a big day again tomorrow, like always. So anyway, get you something to eat, drink, a relaxing chair or whatever, because if people watches this on a replay, it can be early in the day. It may not be at nighttime or whatever the case is. So get you something to eat, drink, and get a relaxable chair and just listen to this Lake Lanier story, guys. All right. So let me go ahead and put this up. Hold on for 1 second. So I should have changed this. Okay, let's see. Create a banner. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so let's do this. I think I spelled this word right. Let me make sure, because I got to make sure. Hold on. Let me move this real quick. Hold on, y'all.
OCCURR.
Let me just put it up here. Damn, this is crazy ever. Never seen it like this where it just disappeared. Um, let me make sure I spell this right because I don't like to be misspelling stuff. Okay, so what happened last? We're gonna put this here. Okay, we're gonna let me see if I can do this like a scary kind of way, make it interesting. All right, and about this thing. These kids stay up there. I mean, this game big one day start off. This all day one day. Okay, so this 1 second, y'all. A minute. You know, I got dual web too. So okay, let me turn the sound on because here we go. Turn that down. All right, I'm gonna turn that. They claim that Lanier is cursed, okay? In the being. It does not start tripping out tonight. I just told them they be on the computers too long. All right, too. I don't know. Gaming computers because it takes energy stuff like that. You know, and data and everything else. You got 50,000 computers in the house going, and phones and everything else feeding off of it. It's just a lot of stuff. I wish they would learn how to give it a break, but I'm gonna have to tell them to give it a break. Let me see if I can do this without it cutting off. If it cut back off, what I'm going to do is just cancel this live and then do it again tomorrow because I can't. But anyway, let me try this again. Okay. So again, Lake Lanier, you guys. Lake Lanier, which is located in Atlanta, Georgia, is said to be a lake that is haunted and is also cursed. Okay. And the reason being is because of its dark secrets, the history behind the lake. Okay. And like I said before, there have been at least 600 deaths at that lake. And also, some boats have capsized. I think that's the way you say that. Just all types of weird things happening there. But before I tell you about the strange things that happen at that lake, I want to give you guys a brief history regarding, how that lake came to be. Because I know a lot of people might not know the actual history behind Lake Lanier. All right, so let's go ahead and get that started. All right, so here we go. Oh my gosh. Let's hope that this stays on, okay, this time, because it just went out. And this is Frontier. Okay. So here we go. Let me see. Okay, this one right here. Okay. So Lake Lanier, guys, is a man-made 38,000 acre lake that attracts more than 10 million visitors every year, bringing in around $5 billion yearly to North Georgia's economy. The lake is located in the affluent Forsyth County, which has the highest medium income in metro Atlanta. This fact is especially interesting considering that the body of water covers what was once a thriving Black community called Oscarville. That community formed during the late 1800s, and it was filled with successful farmers, carpenters, and blacksmiths until Oscarville's more than 1,000 residents were violently forced out by white Forsyth County residents. All right. Now, many people say Lake Lanier is haunted, and it is being depicted as such in pop culture, as in the season 3 opening scenes of the FX series Atlanta. Now, in reality, the lake stands as a reminder of the American history today's leaders are trying to erase. In the parts of history they deem worthy of preservation. Lake Lanier was named after Sidney Lanier, a poet and Confederate soldier during the Civil War. It's less than 50 miles north of Georgia's Stone Mountain, which features the country's largest Confederate monument. Despite protests and legislation aimed at that statue's removal, it has remained in place. And I seen it in person when I used to live in ATL. I used to live in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and I used to go to Stone Mountain Park. Okay. Now, in too many parts of the U.S., we preserve the ugly stains of this country's racism while eliminating memories of the thriving Black communities that once stood strong. Black towns like Rosewood, Florida, and neighborhoods like Greenwood and Tulsa, Oklahoma, were a testament to the strength, innovation, and independence of their residents until they were destroyed by white mobs. Lake Lanier is a chilling reminder of anti Black violence that is still claiming Black lives today. The lake story began more than 100 years ago. In September 1912, a white 18-year-old named May Crow was found injured after being assaulted in the woods, less than a mile from her family's home. She later died from her injuries, okay? Anyway, let me just tell you, May Crow was allegedly sexually RAPE. Well, I don't know why I said sexually, but sexually assaulted in RAPED, and she was also beaten. They said so severely, allegedly, one of her eyes came out of socket. Okay. Anyway, like I said, she later died from her injuries. All right. Now, despite the absence of witnesses or evidence, a 24-year-old Black man named Rob Edwards was arrested. Edwards was then taken from the county jail by a mob of white residents who brutally beat him with crowbars. They shot him repeatedly and dragged him to the town square where his mutilated body was lynched. All right. Additionally, Edward's wife, Jane Daniel, their neighbor, Ed Collins, Jane's cousin, Oscar Daniel, and Oscar Daniel's cousin, Ernest Knox, were arrested. Knox and Oscar Daniel, both teens, were convicted by an all-white jury before being hung in front of about 5,000 spectators. And the thing about it, when they hung these people, the spectators were basically cheering, laughing, all types of stuff. They were celebrating. All right. Now, in the aftermath of those brutal killings during September and October of 1912, mobs of white people set fire to local Black churches and Black-owned businesses. They forced all of the Black residents out of the country. Now, let's go ahead and go fast forward. Decades later, in 1987, on an episode of the Oprah show, Oprah Winfrey visited Forsyth County, which at that time hadn't had a Black resident in 75 years. Today, in that county, there are only about 4.9% of Black people there. 9.7% is Hispanic, And of course, 72.6% of the residents are white. And then you have 63.9% identified as non-Hispanic white people. Now, in the 1950s, what was once Oscarville, Oscarville, it was flooded for the creation of Lake Lanier. You got that? If this goes back out, you have to excuse it. I'm going to put it right back on. I don't know what the crap is going on with StreamYard. Okay. Now, according to historians, many of the community's structures were not removed, including unmarked graves. And the thing about it is that I was listening to a documentary tonight, and they were saying that they believe that they did not get all of the graves. They did not get all of the people, and that some people are actually still in the graves, buried underneath all of that water. Okay, at Lake Lanier. Anyway, in 2017, CNN reported that a longtime diver, his name is Buck Buchanan, he claimed he sometimes felt body parts in the lake while he was underwater. He said, you reach out into the dark and you feel an arm or a leg and it doesn't move. You got that? So this longtime diver, Buck Buchanan, claimed he sometimes felt body parts in the lake. While he was underwater, he said, you reach out into the dark and you feel an arm or a leg and it doesn't move. Okay. Now, just last year, it was announced that one of the lake's rescue teams would no longer be using divers for underwater rescues. Instead, to decrease risk to divers, they would use robots for underwater rescues. And you have to wonder why. You know why? Because they still have buildings down there, okay? Because it's built over, like I just said, Oscarville, okay? You still have buildings. You have trees down there. They cut trees. When the trees go up out the water, obviously, because they fill the water up, they had to cut those trees down, but the stumps are still there. And then you have buildings, you have roads or whatever. You got all this stuff down there, monuments, all types of stuff, because they covered up the whole town in water once they forced all the black people out violently and in all types of ways, you know? Anyway, the horrific history of wiping out black communities and often stripping black folks of their wealth is not unique to Lake Lanier, y'all. Alabama's Lake Martin, also man-made, covers a black community that formed in 1895. And residents of New York's Seneca Village, which was covered by Central Park, were forced out in 1857. Also, highways have been built over black communities for years, and recent reports of plans to build a highway through a black community in South Carolina are proof that this isn't a thing of the past, it's still happening today. Now, we live in a country that went from enslaving black people to wiping out the communities they built post-slavery. Today, some politicians are prohibiting the teaching of that in history while promoting a false account of that history. All right. They said, see Florida's new African American Studies curriculum teaches students that enslaved people saw personal benefit from their captivity, which I don't see what personal benefit they saw. I think I talked about that before, and I think that's a stupid, stupid, stupid thing to say or to teach, you know. Anyway, it is a heartbreaking testament to the legacy of racist cruelty that too many Americans insist on upholding. All right. So that is just some back history, all right, of everything. Now I want to let you guys know exactly what else, why they actually say it's haunted and has a curse. I can tell you straight up, they say it's cursed because you know how they forced all the black people out. They burned down houses. They were forcing people out with guns and things and shooting people and doing the most, lynching, just doing the most. You know what I'm saying? So they made these people get out. You know what I'm saying? And with the girl, you know, being sexually assaulted and all that, she got, you know, unalive. and everything. So they're basing all of this haunted things. There's, all these haunted things that they say about Lake Lanier on all of those accounts, especially the fact that they covered up, the town. And then you got people who were in the cemetery, which they took some of the bodies out, but some of the bodies stayed there. Okay. And they just covered it up with water, which is crazy. Allegedly. Okay. We're going to say allegedly. But anyway, that is crazy. Let me tell y'all. So let's see. So anyway, since that time, it's been claiming so many people's lives, and of course, harboring a haunted past. So, what is the cursed lake secret? We're going to tell you. And like I said, with a death toll over 600, this article right here says 700 since its creation in 1956. But even before then, because like I just told you guys, when they did that, they came in here and killed people, killed the black people and stuff, and all of that. Also, when they did not dig up all the graves and they left some of the graves, the people in the graves, okay, and just put water over that. These people are, their bodies are still there. And then the fact that that girl got assaulted and brutally beaten and then killed, and then the people that they lynch and all of the other stuff, you just never know. So that's where all of that haunted stuff come from. And then cursed because how they forced all of the black people out, and they was killing them, burning their houses down, their businesses down, doing the most. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they think it's cursed. All right. Anyway, like I was just saying, throughout the years, Lake Lanier has witnessed numerous deaths, with some years marking the loss of more than 20 lives in one year. Recent months saw the recovery of 2 additional bodies, further perpetuating the lake's grim reputation. Causes of death vary, ranging from boating accidents, drownings, to inexplainable things that happen to people that causes their death. Okay, which is very, odd. Also, some local people who live in the area claims that they saw a lady, okay, with no hands walking on the water, I guess. Okay, and they call this lady Lady of the Lake, and some people believe it's the girl who was sexually assaulted. They also, I think they cut off her hands and stuff. I think so. And so they think that this is that girl, okay, that's haunting the waters. And then they say they also believe that she also curses those who encounter her. All right. However, the true story behind Lake Lanier ominous past unveils a trail of RAPE, murder, lynching, and the tragic death of over 700 people. Eerily remnants of a once thriving community lie submerged beneath the lake's surface, providing a chilling reminder of the darkness surrounding the area. Beneath the depths of the Lake Lanier, the remnants of Oscarville lie in solemn response. So, this is what Lake Lanier, I can show you little pictures of Lake Lanier right here. Like I said, if you guys ever visited or visit Georgia, Atlanta, make sure you get and look at it. Don't get in the water though, okay? Because back in 2000 and I think that was a 17 when, hey Elisa, thank you for coming in. When Usher's then wife Tamika, her son drowned in that lake. I know you guys remember that. All right. So there's a lot of people who died. And then I thought I heard somebody, when I was watching the documentary today, I thought I heard them say something about a basketball player who died there not too long ago. But I'm going to tell you guys anyway. So when I was telling you guys about when they came to the town, and forced all the black people to leave and did all these things to the black people, they was doing this because they was blaming The entire, which is crazy, but they used to do that back then. They would blame the entire, if any crimes happened, of course, they blamed it on Black people, the entire community. So that's what they did in Oscarville, okay? And that's why they went around. They had like a KKK, whatever they called it back then. I think they called it Night Riders, which was a violent gang that sought vengeance. Anyway, they had on white, and they were going around doing the most. You know what I'm saying? They actually apprehended a 16-year-old boy who they suspected of the crime, which they didn't really have no real proof or anything else, and they murdered him in the most brutal way, okay? And then they put his lifeless body on a telephone pole in the city center. And you wonder why the lake is haunted. And they did this retaliation for a while, okay? They did it all the way throughout the night, and they just did it for a while. They forced nearly 1,000 people to flee for their lives within a mere 4 months. So they did this for at least 4 or 5 months. And a dude by the name of George Rucker, who is a descendant of Oscarville's former residents, recounts the harrowing tale of his great-grandfather, Bird Oliver, who lost everything. Rucker said when the Night Riders, who are like the KKK, came through, they had to leave everything. The main thing they left was property, and my grandfather had 100 acres. As the mob pursued them, the displaced residents sought refuge near the Chattahoochee River. Upon reaching the bridge, they faced a hunting ultimatum: swim or drown. Regrettably, most did not survive, with Rucker's grandfather losing several siblings in the desperate escape. So the thing about it is that you wonder why people think Lake Lanier is haunted. Look at that, the Grizzly Pass. They kill so many people, innocent people. Okay? They did the unthinkable to these people. And then when they did the dam thing, I think the dam bust or something like that. Anyway, they decided to do the Lake Lanier project. Any residents that still stayed there, because I think it was a few people still there. Most of the people left, but I think it was a few people still there. They forced them out. They gave them a little measly amount of money and forced them out. And then they started filling that daggone area after they got it, ready or whatever the case is. They started filling that area with water, covering up everything. Like I said, they did remove some graves, but they did not get every single one of them. Because back then, like they said earlier when I was listening to it, they didn't have certain machines or whatever the case is, I guess, to tell, where bodies were or whatever the case is. But the thing is, you would think they would just go to the graveyards or whatever the case is, because it couldn't have been that many, and just dig up all the bodies. But no, they just wanted to hurry up and do that. They didn't give a crap about the people who were buried there, because they know majority of them probably was Black. They didn't care. So they poured water, filled up the dam or whatever. They filled up the lake and, filled up everything, covered up buildings, cover up people who were still in graves that they did not remove. They covered up everything. And then you wonder why so many deaths happen at that lake. And some people have even said you got people who almost drowned, but they did not drown, right? So they described the feeling as like somebody was pulling them down in the water, trying to make them drown. One person said that they felt phantom hands pulling them down, in the water. And numerous people said this, y'all, not just one or two. And then what about all the sightings of the girl walking on water or walking around the lake area, and she does not have any hands? And then one fisherman told about an experience he had there. He said that they were out on the boat. If I get this right, they were out on the boat, right? And what he said he saw, let me think. He said he saw a person out there in the water, like it was a big old, I can't remember. He said he saw a person out there, by a boat or something, if I'm not mistaken. And then the person got out of the boat because the boat person was standing in the boat looking at them, right? And then a person got out of the boat and started swimming toward the fisherman's boat. And they said when they shined the light out into the lake, they didn't see anything. It just disappeared. And then other people who were on boats, like other fishermen, they said they were out on Lake Lanier, right? And they said that it felt like they had hit something, but when they shined their lights, they didn't see anything. So there are many stories about this lake and about people seeing, things while they were out there, okay, or feeling something. Either they feel something, like the people who were almost drowned, they would feel something, feeling hands or whatever the case is. Saying, what about the diver who said he reached out into the darkness and he would feel like arms and legs? So, I mean, it's a lot of, reasons why it could really be hunted, and why people do see these type of things out there. Now, let me go ahead and go into a little bit more of this. Okay. Hold on. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. They claim that the Army relocated 20 cemeteries. Okay. But they said it is likely that unmarked graves were left undisturbed. And now, like I said before, they are lying beneath the lake's surface, as reported by CNN. And they said the displacement of graves in the submerging cemeteries sparked tales of curse and ghosts hunting Lake Lanier. A mere 2 years after the lake creation, the first tragedy happened, reinforcing legends of the supernatural. So here we go. In 1958, y'all, a car was carrying two women, Susie and Delia. Anyway, they careened off a bridge, plunging into the lake's depth. The following year, fishermen discovered a woman's body without hands, clad in a blue dress. Unable to confirm her identity, some locals reported sightings of her ghost, earning her the moniker, excuse me, earning her the nickname as Lady of the Lake. Okay, so let me stop right there because I thought it was the other lady they were talking about. So I guess it's a separate lady, which makes it even more scarier. Okay. Some say that this Lady of the Lake, attempts to lure unsuspecting victims into the murky waters, forever condemning them. Excuse me. She lures unsuspecting victims into the murky waters, forever condemned to hunt the bridge at night. So they think she's condemned to hunting the bridge at night and then encouraging people to come out, I guess, to swim into the murky waters or whatever case, is swim in the water and then she take them to that murky part. I don't know, but this is what they think. Anyway, let's see. In 1990, the mystery surrounding the Lady of the Lake unraveled further when workers constructing a bridge discovered human remains from a 1958 Ford sedan submerged 30 meters deep in the lake. The remains were identified as Susie's, leading authorities to believe that the woman discovered in 1959 was Delia or Delia. Now, despite the discovery, Lake Lanier continues to be plagued by unsettling incidents. Since its inception, the lake has claimed the lives of 700 people, with 200 deaths happening after 1994, as reported by the Miami Herald. Divers who have explored the lake's depths have encountered chilling discoveries, stumbling upon lifeless body parts during their adventures. So that tells you right then and there that some of the graves still had bodies in it. And then also too, probably some people that drowned they could not find, and they probably, are stumbling upon their body parts. Anyway, in response to the lake's nature, kind of like rough, bad nature or whatever case, authorities have taken measures to prioritize the safety of visitors. Popular beaches such as Margaritaville have prohibited swimming to mitigate risk, and fences now wall hazardous areas within the water. It walls off hazardous areas within the water. The authorities and local people who live around the lake, they attribute the high number of drownings not to curses or other supernatural things, but to the hidden things that lurk beneath the Lake Lanier's surface, like the remains of old buildings from Oscarville and the trees that were really, really tall, up to 20 meters in height. And they said that poses a significant danger, making escape challenging for swimmers in distress. Anyway, a lot of divers who dive at Lake Lanier, back tell about different experiences that they had while diving at Lake Lanier. And like I said, one of them in particular has said that when they were diving, it felt like, what did they say? I can't remember. They said that let me think, I don't forget already. Did they see? I think they said they felt hands and stuff, or felt like somebody was touching them or something. I think that's what I said before. I'm not sure. I think that's what I said though. But there are a lot of different things people, say about, Lake Lanier, like people, like I said, who almost drowned. And then, like I said before, I remember when Tamika's son drowned, and they were trying to figure out, how did that happen and things like that. Just a lot of people, and then I think another, like a basketball player, if I'm not mistaken, he drowned or almost drowned. So hold on for 1 second, y'all. Let me get something real quick. And the sad thing about it, y'all, they don't even teach the kids nothing about this lake, the history of that lake. I had never heard of that, and I lived in ATL for 16 years and never heard about a town that was under, I never heard of Oscarville, okay, point blank. So I didn't know that Lake Lanier had all this, this like bad thing, surrounding it and things like that. I didn't know that because they basically, kept that a secret. That lake, they say, is about, it has a, let's see, it was, okay, so they said the deepest part of the lake is located on the north side of Butte Dam in the original river channel at elevation 911 feet above mean sea level. when the lake is at its full level, the lake at this point is 160 feet deep in depth. And back in May 24, 2023, the park's management initiated a swimming ban for safety reasons. So no more swimming in the lake area. And you know why? Because they know what they did. They know that they covered up all, the town, buildings are there, trees, roads, all this stuff is there. And then they do know a lot of people have died at that lake. Okay. And it's just very strange that all these people died. And then the ones who basically almost drowned, they said that they felt like somebody was pulling on them. And then, like I said, even the diver who said that he felt hands or something like that, or he saw hands. I can't remember what he said. Body parts. That's what he said. So it's a lot of strange, occurrences there. Just like the people who be on the boats and stuff, the fishermen. Look what they said. Okay, one of them said that he saw a man standing there. The man got out the boat that was there at first, and then he started swimming basically crazily toward him. Okay, and then when he shined the light on him, then he just disappeared. Everything just disappeared. And also, the other boat fisherman who said that he thought he had hit something, and at first he saw something, or he just say he saw something at first, and then when he shined his light out into the water, it disappeared. So yeah, they're gonna stop the swimming there because of all these strange things people are reporting. These people are not just making these things up, and then and then these people have the nerves to not dig up all of the graves and make sure that everybody is out, and they put them in another cemetery. They didn't give a crap. You know what I'm saying? They didn't care. And then you wonder. And then look how they took the town. Okay, they did all of that because a girl got assaulted, and they blamed it on the black people automatically. Didn't really have a real trial. They did a trial, but it was all in one day. And it wasn't fair. And so what they did, they not only, brutally murdered this young boy, 16, they went around and went to his family and then went to the other black people to get everybody out that town. They forced those people out of there. You know what I'm saying? And then allegedly another white woman claimed that she was sexually assaulted and accused a black preacher, I believe, of doing it. And I think they, put him in jail and beat him. I don't know if he died or not. I can't remember. So they were doing a lot of bad things. So, anything is bound to be happening there at Lake Lanier. And then they hid this for the longest because, like I said before, I had never heard about this until like years later when I left ATL, which I left ATL in 2008. And I didn't hear about it now while I was staying in the DFW. I didn't hear about Lake Lanier until Tamika's Usher's ex-wife son drowned. And that's when they started, letting us know about the dark history of Lake Lanier. Okay? And that is crazy, man. So that is crazy. Let me see what else they're saying here. And they have different things, honestly. And everywhere you look at, they got different death tolls. But the tolls that I saw is 600. Hey, Ryan, thank you for coming in. I'm doing pretty good. And how are you? Y'all check out Ryan, okay? Put his name right there into YouTube, and you can just check him out. I thought I made you a what's the name, Ryan? I don't see it up there, but I thought I did. But if I did, if it's up there, just go ahead and drop your link. But if you can't, I'm gonna have to do it again. But I thought I did that already. But anyway, guys, you can also type his name into YouTube and just go ahead and check him out. He's a gamer. He plays some very fun games and everything. And just recently, on August the 27th, 2023, and I thought they just said they stopped the swimming there. Anyway, a 23-year-old man died on a Saturday afternoon while swimming at the lake. Let's see. I thought they said they stopped the swimming there. What did I say? I said they stopped it from what day? Yeah, way back in May, I believe. Yeah, that lake is kind of scary. Let me show y'all another. Like I said before. Okay, but I didn't get into water. I don't get into lake waters and stuff. The only lake that I got into the water is Dove Lake out in Grapevine, Texas. Okay, and I didn't go all the way out, and I just was in it where I can walk through it. But it's a shame what they did. I can honestly see why it's hunted. I really can, because the way what they did to all those people, you know what I'm saying, and killing people and lynching people and murdering people and beating people to death and things like that. What do you expect? All right. That is crazy. So let's see. So they said this young man went under while he was swimming and did not come back up. So they did find the man's body in about 10 feet of water. 23-year-old Edgar Stephen Cruz Martinez. And you know what? They said this is the third death at Lake Lanier in recent months and the seventh drowning this year at Lake Lanier. A 61-year-old Stone Mountain man disappeared after he dove off the side of a boat in late July. His body was recovered a few hours later. Then a 27-year-old man also disappeared while swimming in the lake the same day. So I wondered if they ever find him. And then just a few days before, a 24-year-old Thomas Milner was killed when he was electrocuted. How? After jumping off of a dock into the lake. I don't understand why. If people know, well, that's good. I'm glad you are doing well, hon. I'm so happy that you are. And thank you for tuning in as well, coming into the chat. But I'm trying to figure out if you looked up Lake Lanier, right, and you looked up the history, and then you see all of these stories about, people dying mysteriously, like basically. Also, you read about what the divers say they felt, or I think they said they felt hands or seen body parts and stuff. Then you look at the fishermen's, what they reported, and then you look at all the other people who died. And hey, Emily's, thank you for coming in. And then you look at all the other accounts of people saying they seen a lady on the water or walking around the lake, you know, encouraging people to come out, with no hands and stuff like that. If you've seen all of this and then you heard and you've seen you heard about all these other deaths that occurred at the lake, why would you go to the lake to swim? Okay, the same day that the first guy I just told you about, the 23-year-old, died, one or two people died the same day. Person was never found. That's very strange. It's like they don't believe stuff. Do they think all of these people are making up these things about what they saw? The diver, people who almost drowned, they described what happened. They said it felt like somebody was pulling them beneath the water. You're crazy for getting in that water. And then I thought I just read that they closed off the lake. So if they closed the lake, how are people still swimming there unless they closed off a certain section of the lake and left one part open? Because like I said, I went to Lake Lanier. I don't remember it in detail because it's been a while ago, but it's a big lake. So maybe they just closed off a certain part and still allow people to swim in another area. And then how did this dude who dove into the lake, how did he get electrocuted? I think I heard about that story though. I hope it wasn't like lightning or, thundering or anything like that outside, because that's kind of stupid. Or he had something on him that he got electrocuted. I would like to find out exactly how did he get electrocuted, from what? Let's see. Let's see. Where's this dude's name at? Yeah, 24-year-old Thomas Milner. He was electrocuted after jumping off of a dock into the lake. In 2018 and 19, there were 8 drownings each in that year. In 2020, there were 7 drownings, 4 drownings in 2021, 6 drownings in 2022. There were 48 additional deaths, some type of boating accident, for the same years. So it's been a lot of deaths there, okay? And when they build that, when they tore that town down and burned buildings down and things like that and forced those people out and things like that. And, honestly, they probably did a lot of things that we just don't know about. There were 20 cemeteries, okay? So they did not get all of the bodies up out of these cemeteries, okay? They didn't get the ones that was in unmarked graves. There were 15 businesses, 6 churches, all right, and 1,000 people. And they forced all that out. They burnt the buildings down. Some of them still was up there to make way for that lake. All right, that's what they did. And the lake was made in 1950s. Okay, in 1950s, and that's the reason why they think this lake is cursed and haunted. All right, and yeah, here they go right here when they talking about um, Tamika, which is Usher's ex-wife, when her son got, and this actually was in 2012 when he got when he drowned or whatever the case is, and he was 11 years old then, and he was killed after a boulder struck him while he was floating in an inner tube on the lake in July 2012. I remember that because I used to live in Atlanta then and stuff. So, all that right there may not be so much of supernatural, but still, it's just so many people who have died there. You know what I'm saying? And they still trying to figure out why so many have died there. They said it's complicated. They claim with about 7 to 11 million visitors per year, things are bound to happen. And they also said the waters of Lake Lanier, they can be very dark and murky. So that makes rescue effort very, very difficult. And another major issue is boating under the influence. These are the excuses they're giving, okay? They said that there were more than 525 BUIs between 2008 and 2018. And they also said people, and especially kids, aren't wearing life jackets when they are at the lake. But still, people who live around there, okay? People who have seen things, people who have experienced things, especially people who almost drowned, I'm sorry, the things that they tell, they still say this lake is haunted, you guys. Some people believe that there are ghosts in the water that pull swimmers and boaters under as a revenge for the past. The one ghost called Lady of the Lake, a lot of people have said they have seen that creature. Okay? So, um, they said other ghosts hanging around the lake may be connected to, what did I tell you before? The 20 cemeteries that were moved before construction of the lake began. They claimed that the people who were in those cemeteries could be mad because they were being disturbed and decided to hunt the lake. They said it's also possible that not all the graves in their people were moved. Listen, we already know, they already confirmed that all of the graves were not moved because they did not move unmarked graves. So that means that some people were there. That means some of those people are beneath the water. Simple as that. So you just never know, what could be happening. Because again, when you got a bunch of people saying the same thing, it makes me wonder, if this is if it really is haunted. That's what it makes me wonder. Because too many people are saying the same thing. And to be having 700 deaths, that's a lot of deaths. That's crazy. And the dude that, let me see, the dude that slipped on the dock who was electrocuted, let me see if this is him. No, this is a different dude. They just have so many drownings, it's ridiculous. This one just happened on Monday, September the 4th, 2023. And I just read that they weren't allowing swimming. Maybe they opened it back up. Anyway, it said a man drowned at Georgia's Lake Lanier after he ran down a dock and slipped into the water, marking the eighth death at the lake this year. And he also was 23 years old. Okay, 23, a lot of young people. A lot. They got so many people. I'm just looking at all the people. And I'm still trying to figure out how the guy who got electrocuted, how did he get electrocuted? Let's see if we can find it out. Well, I know one thing. Usher's wife was trying to get. She did a petition for them to drain and clean and restore the lake to make it safe and to remove, dangerous debris. And as of right now, that online petition has about 2,500 signatures. That is crazy. Oh my God. So of course, they're gonna make, like I said, of course, they're gonna make excuses for everything. But again, it's too many unexplained things that happen at Lake Lanier. Now, let me show y'all a couple videos about it from TikTok, because I cannot show you from, what I'm talking about. There's gonna be a copyright thing. Let me turn this volume down real quick first. Hold on for 1 second. What time is it? Okay, we got a couple more minutes. Let's see. Let's see here. Hold on for a minute. Okay. Let me hold on, y'all. Let me look at something real quick. Hold on real quick. Okay. Yeah, dude. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me just show y'all real quick. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all hear this real quick. Hopefully they don't have music. Let's see. Let me turn my music down though. I'm gonna let y'all hear it because sometimes other people will say stuff that I didn't say. So that's why I like doing this. Okay, y'all ready? Tourist attraction, and it's not that far from Atlanta. But the truth is, this lake should be restricted and no one should be able to step foot near this area. Simply because of the history of this lake and what lies. This lake, before it was even a lake, it used to be a thriving, predominantly black city. And it had racetracks, lots of farmland, and it was just a good environment and a great town. Until one day, the U.S. Army Corps decided that they wanted to make this into a lake and flooded the whole city. And there's courts, but underneath this lake, there's all type of cemeteries, homes. If you go underneath this lake, you can literally see houses and all types of things that was before this lake was here. Let's talk about. Okay, let's go ahead. This is Lake Lanier. Oops, wait a minute. It looks like a nice family-friendly lake. A lot of people grew up in this area. Hold on for 1 second. Wait. And have been going there their whole lives. Let me do part 2. It's a attraction and it's not that far from Atlanta. But the truth is, this be restricted and no one should be able to step foot near this area, simply because of the history of this lake and what lies beneath it. This lake, before it was even a lake, it used to be a thriving, predominantly black city. And it had racetracks, lots of farmland.
Lake Lanier. It's the most haunted lake in Georgia for a really good reason. In the 1950s, they wanted to make a lake. It wasn't underground already. Like, it was a town. Just then they built a chasm around it. They gave everyone like a month or so to evacuate the town. And they just poured water into it and left all of the houses, the roads. There's cars down bodies, there. But I was wondering, I was like, why is it so haunted? And it turns out that if you camp next to the lake, there's over 20 reportings that the parents, they would fall asleep with the kids like at the campsite, and they'd wake up to either the kids trying to get out of the tent or walking towards the water, sleepwalking. Oh my God. And whenever the either like retrieves them out of the water or wakes them up, all of the kids say that something or someone was telling them to go under the water. Why would they just dump water over a town? I don't understand that. It's like they're trying to hide something. The kind of, right? It's like, what's buried under that town?
Are these people stupid?
It's the most haunted lake in Georgia for a really good reason. In the 1950s, they wanted to make a lake. It wasn't underground already. Like, it was a town. Then they built a chasm around it. They gave everyone like a month or so to. The thing about it, he's not 100% telling the accurate stories. Look, you can see the pictures right there. Look. Left all of the houses, the roads. There's cars down bodies, there. But I was wondering, I was like, why it's so haunted? And it turns out that if you camp next to the lake, there's over 20 reportings that the parents, they would fall asleep with the kids like at the campsite, and they'd wake up to either the kids trying to get out of the tent or walking towards the water, sleepwalking. Oh my God. And whenever the either like retrieves them out of the water or wakes them up, all of the kids say that something or someone was telling them to go under the water. Why would they just dump water over a town. I don't understand that.
Well, we already talked about why they would dump water. Okay, they dump water all the time because they didn't give a crap about who lived there. They wanted the black people out of there. Okay, because back then, like I just told you before, those black people who were living there, they were doing good financially. They had a thriving town that everybody was doing a good. They were doing good. And they just was, probably jealous. That's the first thing. Besides the fact that back when that um, girl said that she was, well, she didn't say anything when she was sexually assaulted and brutally beaten and, unalive, you know, and they thought they caught the person. They didn't really. They did a trial, but they was unfair and everything else back then, and how they brutally murdered that little boy, because he was 16, and then they went around and did stuff to his family members and other people. Because if they thought one black person did something back then, they blamed the whole black community, period. And then they started doing KKK type stuff. So that's why they went in there and just, forced the people who was there afterwards, years later afterwards. That's why they made them leave out of there, because they didn't want them there in the first place. Everybody was, doing good, living, just doing like they should. They didn't want no black people in that area. So they just, like they did so many other places, just basically forced them out. If they didn't leave willingly, they made them leave. You know what I'm saying? It's like they burned down houses and built and other things, and did stuff to people to force them to move, you know, to leave. And like I said before, I think some people that were still there, I guess they can force every single body out, but people who were still there, I think they paid them a small amount of money, because when I was watching this documentary earlier, they were saying that the money they paid them, some people, it wasn't even enough for them to really live on, to get another place or anything. They just gave them money and stuff. And then they went on to put water there. After they constructed everything and all that, then they filled it up and covered up the houses. I don't know about the cars, because I didn't hear nothing about no cars, but I did hear about like the buildings, the cemeteries. They claim they took all the bodies except in the unmarked graves, like I said before. So those people were still left in the grave because it was unmarked, identifiable. Is that right? Is that a word? Anyway, they didn't identify these people. Okay, so therefore they left them in the graves, obviously, and just filled the entire area up with water and just covered up the buildings, the graves, everything. And then you wonder why, why, why are they seeing stuff in this lake or that area, or that area of that lake? So listen to this: 5 reasons
terrifying reasons you should never
not to
swim in
swim
Lake
there.
Lanier.
Listen.
Because it's built over countless flooded graveyards. Yes, for some reason we thought it would be a great idea to flood a bunch of graveyards and assume that nothing bad would happen. I don't even believe in like ghosts and stuff, but that is such a no for me. It is quite literally filled with dead bodies. There are countless people who have disappeared or drowned in the lake, probably because it's built over a fucking cemetery or two. But yeah, there's lots of dead bodies in there. As of 2017, reports of countless ravenous leeches has been going up. And leeches are this really unique organism that likes to suck the blood out of you. Number 4, despite being in North Georgia, there's fucking alligators in there. I don't know how alligators got into Lake Lanier, but they're definitely in there. It is built over an entire submerged town, which is literally the plot of Poltergeist. So promise me you will never swim in a lake that is filled with leeches, bodies, alligators, graves, an entire town? Yeah, no. 5 terrifying reasons
I don't
you
know
should never
why
swim in Lake
anybody,
Lanier.
I honestly don't know why anybody would want to swim in that lake. Okay, I just don't, because the fact of you thinking about its history, that enough will stop me from swimming there. Then you think about all the countless people who have died there, including the famous people who died, or the famous children. Well, yeah, the children of famous people in the basketball player. I don't remember if he died or almost died. I can't remember. I have to look it up. But it's just too many stories for me. Okay, just too much. The dude jumping off the daggone dock, get electrocuted, and I still want to know, how did he get electrocuted? I need to look it up real quick. Let me just see real quick, okay? Because I'm kind of trying to figure out, well, how did he get electrocuted? Let's see. let me ask, what's that? How did the 23-year-old who jumped off of the dock at Lake Lanier, how was he electrocuted? Let me see.
According to Yahoo News, according to the investigation, a 24-year-old man, later identified as Thomas Milner, jumped off a dock into the lake and was shocked by electricity in the water.
Oh,
The
wow.
Forsyth County Sheriff's Office said a family friend tried to get him out of the water using a ladder but was unsuccessful.
Okay, so it was electricity in the water? From where? Let me see. Let me see what else they say. Let me go to Yahoo News. Let's see. So he jumped in that lake. So he was shocked near Lake Lanier Beach South Road in Forsyth County. Let's see. Let's see. The person described to officials a burning sensation he recognized as an electric shock. He reportedly swam ashore, turned off the power box, and went back into the water, ultimately pulling Milner onto the dock. They also did CPR, but of course he was not. I mean, I guess he died at the hospital. So yeah, that is crazy. That you see, that's what I'm talking about. Just crazy things like that happened at that lake. And this young man was only 23, 24 years old. There have been a lot of people dying in their 20s and kids, drowning and things like that. It's to me, it's just really just strange. You know what I'm saying? It's very strange. Very strange. It's really just strange how many people died there, honestly. And let's see. Okay, that's the mother of the man. Okay. That is crazy. So it was electricity in the water. All right. So again, that's weird to me as well. Okay. So how many times you see something like that happens, happening? I mean, hold on one more. Let's see if I can get this other real things. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me give you one more things. Scene. Wait a minute, hold on, y'all. That is very weird. Let's see what they say here. Let's see. So, okay. Hold on, y'all. Let's see here. Okay. They still talking about the same thing. Basically, it's the same thing. People seeing certain things. The one with the kids, though, I had never heard of that before. But like I said before, it's a lot of information regarding Lake Lanier, okay, and all of the supernatural things that people have stated that they saw or felt, okay? So many things. So if you if you ever go to ATL, if you live there, just make sure you don't get in that water. That's on everything. It is too many, drownings, boat accidents, um, people seeing stuff, especially the lady with no hands, just weird stuff. Fishermen talking about what they saw, or people in the boat. I don't know if they were fishermen. I think they were out there fishing actually, and they seen stuff out there in the water. The one with the dude jumping out the other boat and swimming to the other. The person who was fishing, that was scary as hell. There's no way I would go back out to that lake. Because if this person, if you did see a person doing this, and then when she shined the light on the person disappeared, what would it shine the light? With the person, the ghost, would it would have swam over there to him and then start shaking the boat? And what about all the boats that did, ended up, turning over in the water? Some boats have done that there. So I don't understand why people keep on going out there to that lake. And they probably really should go in there and drain that lake and clean it out and all of that. But you know what? They probably won't do it because they know good and well what they did. Okay? And it's probably more worse than what we think. Okay? That's why they don't want to go down there and drain it. It's probably so many buildings there. It might be cars there. It's probably so many bodies there. You just don't never know what those people were doing back then. You know what I'm saying? They said many of the structures, buildings, and roads that were flooded during the lake's creation were left as is. They said divers find eerie relics of streets, walls, in houses intact, like an abandoned ghost town on the lake's bottom. So those places, I wonder, do they got pictures of that? They said that 20 cemeteries still got headstones and graves still at the bottom of the lake that were never removed. That is crazy. That's what I'm talking about. See, they left all of that there, y'all. All of that. So I would like to see, um, and that's another thing too. You know, like if I ever talk about racism or anything, I need to talk about that too in that type of live, because if they did all this there then and they took people property and all this, but they did pay some people. That's why I guess the descendants that haven't tried to go back to recoup to get that money. You know what I'm saying? For really not buying the property or under selling, not underselling, but under bidding, I guess, whatever you call it, just paying for it, paying less for the property that they should have paid. They should have paid more. So let's see here. Okay, so I was cover. I said, oh, if they have any pictures, because divers went there, right? I wonder, do they have any pictures? I'm gonna go to Google because I don't want to pull it up on YouTube. Pretty sure if you go to YouTube and you type in what pictures have divers taken of the bottom of Lake Lanier. Let me see if I can pull up some on Google. Because that's pretty interesting to see. First, let me type this in and see what they're saying here. Let's see. On Halloween, they said, let's see, hold on. Okay, so here is a picture of some of the graves underneath the water. Let me show y'all. These people ought to be ashamed of themselves. These are the heads things. That is crazy, man. How can you even do this? You know what I'm saying? But I know why they did it. Like I said, buddy. When I was listening to one audio, they actually played an audio that, you know how they act out the parts. And they was acting out what some of the people were saying about the black guy that they beat, shot, and then lynched. And they were calling him, they were describing him, saying that what did they say? His hollow eyes, he looks like a gorilla hanging up on a tree or pole or some stuff they were saying. I was like, this is crazy how they just, looked at blacks back then like animals and stuff. And that's why I say they didn't care. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give a crap. They didn't care because they didn't really see blacks back at that time as people. Let's just keep it real. I don't know why people would be scared to say this. So let's see if anything else that they said. Let's see. This says spooky tales have haunted Lake Lanier in the foothills of northern Georgia mountains for decades. Some people said they seen a large serpentine. Wait a minute, hold on. No. Let's see. Hold on. I'm about to say something else that's not true. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. So they got a Netflix drama called Ozark. Y'all may want to check that out because they filmed scenes at the lake. So they did say they did see some mysterious underwater sightings. Okay, especially around Halloween. Let's see. So let's see what else they said. This is crazy. It just covered this whole town up. So this is the farmland that was flooded. This is crazy, man. So these people were evil. I'm telling you straight up back then. That is crazy. How can you just cover up a town like this? It was a ghost town. There was only a few people left there at that time. But still, how can you just go in there and just cover up a town because you want the property and you want to make a lake there? And you just force people out, underpay them for their land and all of this stuff. before all of that happened, when they went in there and forced the other black people out then in that horrific manner, it just shows how evil people can be. You know what I'm saying? So, getting down where they didn't care about just flooding it with water and stuff, making it out of the lake and covering up buildings and things like that. And then you wonder why they are hearing a lot of things at the lake, why they are seeing ghosts, and why people become missing and drowned. That is crazy. There's no way I would be out there in that water. That is crazy, man. I mean, just the thought of it. Let's see. And then that story about the kids waking up, when the parents waking up at night and they see their kids either, what did they say, standing inside of it or walking toward the water, because and they said that something or somebody was telling them to go to the water. That is crazy. There's no way I would have my kids out there camping. That is crazy. They even had a racing, an auto racing track that was left behind. That is also at the lake bottom. Now they did remove the bleachers. They said concrete block foundations of some small buildings are still submerged. And some people say they have heard church bells ringing from the sunken churches. Because, of course, they um, flooded that out too. It's at the bottom. Now, somebody told, I guess, whoever studies this stuff said that they told CNN that it's not possible to hear church bells. But if the lake is haunted, then it is possible to hear. You know what I'm saying? And they said over the decades, when the lake's water levels drop during drought, submerged roads, tire parts, and other artifacts have been exposed. That is crazy. So, okay, so now that's crazy, y'all. But anyway, let's see, watery sightings. See, I told you, it said over the years, divers have reported creepy sightings beneath the murky water. Some tell stories of freaky catfish as big as a Volkswagen. People have divers showing videos of sunken houseboats and piles of debris. It's a lot of stuff. Like I said, it would be very interesting, and too bad I can't show those actual videos on my live, but you guys can always go to YouTube yourself and type in what did divers find at the bottom of Lake Lanier. Or you can also type in what scary things have divers experienced while diving in Lake Lanier, or what scary experiences fishermen or boaters have experienced while out there on the lake. A lot of stuff. And then that one person said alligators at Lake Lanier. So here, yeah, this, like I said, this diver, Buck Buchanan, told local media that he sometimes felt body parts in the lake during his many excursions. He said you reach out into the dark and you feel an arm or leg and it doesn't move, he said. That is crazy. How can you? I wouldn't even be able to swim in this daggone lake. And look at all these people that come out there, because people don't believe shit until it happens to themselves. There is no way I can go to the lake maybe, but there's no way I'm going to, if I know all of this stuff that I know now, there is no way that I'm going to this lake and let my kids swim, or we're going to hike. Nah, we're going to stay there overnight and camp out. Are you crazy? And then you got all these accounts of these kids waking up at nighttime, walking close to the water. You know what I'm saying that something that was telling them to come to the water. That is crazy. And then you still go out there with your kids? Now, okay, we already know about that urban legend. That is crazy. Yes, that is crazy. This couldn't be now, I know. Let's see. Hopefully this is not today. Hopefully this is old. Let me check the story out real quick, y'all. Let me just see if this is current. But yeah, while this story come up, let me just say about Lake Lanier. I don't know if you guys believe if it's haunted or not. Like I said, I went there. I didn't see anything, but I wasn't there long enough to be like, and at that time, I didn't know about the history of Lake Lanier because they definitely kept it a secret. All right. You guys can check out that movie Ozark or TV show, whatever it was, and they have scenes that they did from Lake Lanier. Thought they made a movie about Lake Lanier. You may want to look in Google and see if that is true, so you can check that out. And you can also, again, do your own research on Lake Lanier because there are a lot of stories about it. There are a lot of people who say what they saw there. I'm gonna say it again, and that's like I have always said. If a lot of people are saying somewhat similar things or the same thing, it's got to be some truth. Many people claim they saw the lady who had her hands cut off walking on the water, either walking around the lake, trying to encourage or persuade or lure people to the water. Okay? Then you have the diver who said he was feeling arms and legs and things like that. The people on the boats who said that they saw something in the water, and then when they shine their light out into the water toward that thing that they saw, it disappears. What about the man, the fisherman who was in a boat who saw another ghost-looking person standing in a boat, a ghostly boat? Then he jumped out of the boat and started swimming crazily toward them, and then when he put the light into the lake, the person disappeared. What about all these type of things? What about the noises they claim they hear from the lake, the bells, all of that, church bells? Do you think everybody is making up these stories? They couldn't be. There has to be some truth to some of this. Okay. The thing for me is that you can never say something doesn't exist just because you haven't seen it or experienced anything. There are many supernatural things that people experience. There are many things out here that people have seen. Just because you have not seen these things, it doesn't mean it does not exist. Take it from me. I told y'all a story last year or earlier this year about some things that I have seen. And I used to be like some people saying that certain things exist until I saw it myself. So as far as Lake Lanier goes, anything could be possible. All of the deaths, the drownings, the boat accidents, the fatalities, robbing accidents, hearing things, seeing things. It has to be an explanation for all of that. Again, if you live or you visit ATL, go out there and check out the lake. Just don't get in the water. Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to that story about Lake Lanier. It is a true story. Again, you can check out everything about it yourself on YouTube or on Google. Just type in Lake Lanier history and type in all the supernatural things surrounding Lake Lanier. All right. All right. So let me check out something real quick. I think this is a story. Thank God. Let's see. It was 2 months ago. I didn't even hear about this, but that's sad. But I'm not going to read the story because it's kind of old anyway, okay? Anyway, my prayers are still extended out to the little girl's family and stuff like that. It was a sad situation. I also want to give my condolences to my son-in-law. His mom died a couple of days ago. So I do give my condolences to my son-in-law and my other daughter and, their families, because it's a sad experience when you lose a loved one, especially your parent. You know what I'm saying? So again, my condolences and prayers are extended out to them. And let me go ahead and do a couple of news articles real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. All right, I'm on here an hour and 25 minutes. We're going to make it 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm going to see if I can do this real quick. Let me see. If I don't be able to do it, then I will tell you guys about this news stuff tomorrow, as well as give you another true haunted story. All right. As a matter of fact, I'll just wait till tomorrow to do the news, and I'll just let you guys know that this week and next week, I'm still going to do some regular content, but I'm also going to incorporate one scary, true story every single day up until Halloween. Okay. Um, every story that I'll give you guys will be a true story that you can actually go and look up, investigate yourself. You know, sometimes I get stuff misconstrued. That's why I usually have something to bag up just in case I say something wrong. And that's another reason why I tell you guys whatever stories I give you, you can go right on YouTube or Google and check them out too, so you can read them yourself. But again, for the next 10 days, I know this is like the ninth day before I think Halloween, I'm going to give you guys a spooky, scary story. I may include one that's false. I don't know for sure yet, but majority of them will be true. Now I'm gonna let you guys know straight off the back. I'm not talking about no demon possession shit. I'm not talking about no demon possession shit. They do have some true stories about that. No alien type shit. Okay, that's out. Um, no shadow man shit. Okay, because I told you guys about the true story about that before. I'm not going to repeat that again, or any other stories similar to that, because I honestly believe that people can invite stuff to them. So I just certain stories I tend to not talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not something I want to talk about. But I will talk about stuff like Lake Lanier or certain strange disappearances or sightings or something like that, but not no alien stuff. So be looking forward to that for the next few days, up until Halloween. And I'm still going to do breaking news. I'm still going to incorporate other little stories as well. And as far as the story that I told the lady who unalived her spouse, there was no additional information that I needed to tell you guys about that. I did tell you guys you can go look up more information about her if you want to know her background or whatever the case is, because I'm not going to, you know, even put no more limelight into what she did. It was disgusting. It was horrible, horrific, everything bad and stuff. But check out that live. That was on Friday. I did that live. Check that live out. You know who I'm talking about. And just yourself and you'll find out more about her. All right. Let me just go ahead and do roll call because I can see this damn internet doing the same thing. I'm about to call him again, Frontier. So I want to say thank you to Elisa for coming by showing support. I appreciate you, girl, and have a good school week, girl. Thank you, Ryan, for coming by and showing support. And I'll be you out tonight like always. Y'all can check out Emily's TV. This is a good YouTuber as well. Check that out. Check him out. Just type this into YouTube as well. All right. And thank you so much for coming by and showing support. Let's see who else. And I think that's it. I think I got everybody. Okay. And thank you to everybody in the bushes for checking this out, and also people who watches this in the replay. All right. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget, guys, if you want to show support to this channel, you can do that by doing a Cash App to $ShadesTube. All right. All donations are used to better this channel. And let's see what else. I think that's about it. I think I covered everything. Let me take this brand thing down. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys. If you're not subscribed, hit the bell notifications so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. And don't forget this, y'all. Y'all always forget this right here. Don't forget the thumbs up video. Like I said, I think I'm shadow banned or whatever you call that shit. But anyway, hopefully YouTube will take me out of the shadow ban soon. I don't know why I'm shadow banned. I don't know why they do that. Maybe I've been posting too many videos or something, but I don't know. Just very strange. You know what I'm saying? How they do that. TikTok does the same thing. So when they do that, I just usually take a couple of days off and don't post nothing for a while. And then I just start that posting. I don't know why they do all this weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like people who can do good content. It's like, they don't appreciate shit. They just want people to be arguing and lying and doxing and doing stupid shit on YouTube. And they show that stupid shit. But if you're talking about something real, you're talking about something educational, or you're talking about something, that's something that's productive, they don't really show those videos like you think they should. This is why this world is so effed up now, because people they just do too much weird shit. You know what I'm saying? And they promote too much weird shit. It's all right to have a good time and a laugh, but damn, can you promote people who are actually trying to do some good on social media? You know what I'm saying? Can they really do that? People who are not trying to encourage people to hurt themselves or talking about people and putting people down and things like that. People who are actually trying to tell you about things that's happening in the world and how you can better yourself, take care of yourself better and things like that. Can they promote that? So that's why it's important to thumbs up these videos, and to subscribe to the channel and to hit that bell notifications. It's important to do that. Okay. Other than that, guys, you guys have a great night. Get you some sleep. Have a beautiful work week. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in my next live. And thank you, Nightbot. All right. And don't forget, happiness within is the key. Is the key to a successful, enriching, fulfilling, beautiful, positive, loving, good life. And that's just on everything. So y'all have a good night. And I'll see you guys in my next live. Peace out. Good night, y'all. See y'all tomorrow, okay? And thank you so much for tuning in.